So what we're going to do now is just going to cook a piece of beef sous vide. So this is just sirloin. We've taken the fat off because that's the way I like the cut. You can leave the fat on because slow cooking, albeit not over a short period, over a longer period, renders fat down and makes it sort of gelatinous. It's a really, really good flavour. So this is 300 grams, just under. So around 10 ounces in old money. We're going to cook this in the bath for approximately 12 minutes. And we're going to cook it at, it's 61.8, but it's going to be 62 degrees, and we'll cook that for 12 minutes. And then what we'll do is we'll take it out. We're going to pan fry a little bit of butter, some oil, a little bit of seasoning, and then you'll be able to see when I cut it how it comes out and how it's cooked. So we have the steak that's been cooking for approximately 12 minutes. You feel it's still quite soft. So we're just going to take that out of the bag. There's a little bit of liquid residue, so we're just going to dry that off a little bit. So we've got the induction hob on. We're just going to heat up some oil and a little bit of butter. So this is the versatility of when you've got your restaurant and you've got people ordering one medium rare. You can cook it for a longer. We're going to cook this sort of rare, which is most people order it in the restaurant. So this is how we're going to do it. So we've got our meat, so we've dried it a little bit. As you can see, it's still quite, in its natural state, but the heat has penetrated it, as I can feel it. So we're going to get the butter up, so we're just going to fry it. So just going to put it gently in the pan. I'm just going to get a nice little colour on each side, and then we'll slice it and we'll see how it looks. So just give it a little bit of colour on it so you get that caramelisation. But it's, what you'll see is when you actually cut the meat, there'll be no sort of draw on the knife. It'll be nice and smooth because basically you haven't really made the protein tighten. Like conventional cooking tightens the protein, whereas in the water baths it still keeps the tenderness stuff, and that's why as professional chefs we like it so much. So I haven't had it very long with them, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a season as well. We're just going to leave that on there. So the thing about a water bath is you can use it for individual portions, or you can cook large pieces of meat, like we've got the leg of lamb. So the versatility is, and also when we have things like we have small weddings for 50 people, if they want, say, a rump of lamb, we will pack rumps of lamb in bags of 10 that have been marinated in oil, garlic, and some salt and pepper, and then we can cook those slowly. And you can either serve them straight away by just sealing them before service, or you can chill them down and then reheat them when you need them for service. And that's another versatility. It's not just a small caterer, but also the larger function people can use the same equipment. And that's why, Grant baths are so universal, and there's so much you can do with them, and they've got such a good range where it fits even a small restaurant up to somewhere that's doing quite large numbers. And that's why I like the Grant bath so much. So I can feel it now. If I feel the texture of it, it's nice. It's getting to the point. It's got a nice crust on it. So cooking it in the water bath, you're not going to be able to lose any of getting a nice crisp crust on a steak that people love. And it's getting a beautiful texture. So we're just going to take that out. We're just going to let it rest, just like normal meat. But as you can see, you can see by the pressure I'm putting on, that it's still got conformity. One thing you'll also notice, it doesn't bleed as much as when you cook a steak normally. And the resting time sort of varies, but if I cut the steak now, you can see that it's beautifully rare. So if you want it more, you can cut it more, but this is what I love about it, is that there's hardly any bleed, and if you look at the conformation around the outside, you've got a nice sort of, where it's been pan-fried on the outside, you've still got that beautiful pink through the middle, and that's why I like using water baths. And as I said, with the Grant water baths, what it does give us is, they're a great product. They're very robust in the kitchen. They've got a really good finish on them. Chefs, we like to have nice, lovely stoves, pans, knives, etc. And the Grant is just one of the things that sort of complements what we do. And all I can say is that Grant gives us consistency. Because we can get that confirmation and that sort of colour pattern day in, day out by having the set temperature control.